Hey everyone! Tonight we're diving into the fascinating life of a woman whose existence was part performance, part endurance, and largely misunderstood by much of the Western world. The Geisha. Before you settle in, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy what I'm doing here. The life of a geisha is surrounded by mystery and delicacy. From childhood, these women are trained to master various traditional Japanese arts, such as dance, music, and especially social etiquette. However, perhaps the most distinctive feature of a geisha is her quiet demeanor and ability to observe the world around her, absorbing everything without uttering a word. Silence for them is a way to connect with the environment and with others' emotions. The way they move and speak, almost without making a sound, conveys a unique and respectful presence. The art of makeup and the meaning of gestures. A geisha's makeup is a true work of art. Her face is covered with a white base, while her eyes are accentuated with red and black strokes, creating a unique aesthetic of mystery and femininity. The use of blush, applied to the cheeks in a strategic manner, symbolizes youth and vitality. Every color, every line drawn, holds a deep meaning, often linked to nature or spirituality. Makeup is not just a means of beautification, but an expression of respect for art and tradition. The gestures of a geisha are also marked by precision and elegance. Every movement, whether serving tea or walking, is done meticulously. A simple gesture, such as holding a teacup or moving from one place to another, can carry profound meaning of respect, humility, and consideration for the presence of others. The use of kimono and cultural significance. The kimono is the traditional attire worn by geishas, and its selection is not by chance. Each kimono is carefully chosen based on the season, occasion, and even the emotional state of the geisha. The kimono symbolizes harmony between the woman's outer world and inner self. Its patterns and colors reflect the balance between tradition and modernity, and its complexity reveals the dedication and commitment of the geisha to her art. The act of wearing the kimono is also a ritual, and the way it is put on reflects the discipline and self-control that geishas possess. Each layer, each fold, has a purpose and symbolism that traces back centuries of cultural history. The meticulous routine of a geisha. A geisha's preparation for the day begins with meditation and personal care. Upon waking, she takes time for stretching and breathing exercises. She then begins preparing herself physically for the day ahead, which includes the process of makeup and donning the kimono. Each step of the routine is done with tranquility and focus, aiming to create balance between body and mind. The preparation is not just a physical task, but also an opportunity to connect with tradition and the spirit of the art she represents. Silence and observation. Silence is one of the pillars of a geisha's work. During encounters with clients, the geisha dedicates herself to listening, observing, and understanding the needs and feelings of those around her. Silence is not a form of indifference, but rather a way of showing respect and sensitivity to the environment. She learns to read others' emotions and desires through subtle gestures, like a glance, allowing her to create a deep connection without words. Observation also plays an important role in the geisha's life. By being present, silent, and attentive, she can pick up on nuances of behavior and emotions of the people around her, providing a unique and personalized experience for each client. The serenity of tea. In a traditional Japanese room, the soft light of day filters through the paper windows, creating a tranquil atmosphere. In the center of the room, a low table is set with green tea and small sweets. The geisha, with smooth and precise movements, picks up the metal kettle, heats the water, and carefully pours it into a small cup. Her delicate fingers move with a unique grace, as if each gesture were part of a silent choreography. She places the cup in the client's hands with remarkable lightness, almost as if the act of serving them were a moment of pure harmony. The sound of the tea being poured and the faint steam rising from the cup add to the sense of calm in the scene. With every movement, she is deeply focused, not only on the task at hand, but on creating a space where peace and serenity can be shared with others. The silence of the room is complete, broken only by the soft sound of tea being served. and the murmur of nature outside. This moment of tranquility and dedication to others reflects the true essence of a geisha's work. A service where silence and attention to detail create an atmosphere of peace and mutual respect. The act of serving tea is not just a daily task, but an expression of care and commitment to the art and tradition, allowing everyone in the room to connect with a profound sense of calm and harmony. The meeting of cultures, from samurai to geishas, medieval Japan, a world of warriors and honor, stood in stark contrast to the grace and delicacy of the geisha world. The samurai culture, with its strict combat rules and code of honor, meets the refined and serene art of the geishas, who dedicate their lives to music, dance, and enchanting conversations. This fusion of warrior masculinity and artistic femininity creates a unique atmosphere where strength and gentleness intertwine. The interaction between these two worlds symbolizes the balance between battle and rest, vigor and serenity, which forms the essence of life in feudal Japan. While the samurai fought battles, the geishas prepared to offer moments of peace and emotional reconciliation. The following story explores how these seemingly opposing worlds connect, sharing an invisible thread of respect, beauty, and tradition. After a long day of battle, a tired and dirty samurai arrives at a small tea house. He still carries the weight of his sword and the responsibility of being the protector of his land, but the tension of his warrior life seems to burden his shoulders. The house is peaceful, with a welcoming atmosphere, decorated with simplicity and elegance. The samurai is invited to enter and relax, leaving behind the shadows of war. The tea house is softly lit by candles, and the air is filled with the delicate scent of cherry blossoms. As the samurai settles at a low table, a geisha enters gracefully, dressed in a kimono rich in floral details. Her hair is neatly styled, and her serene gaze reflects a world far removed from the violence the samurai knows. She approaches him and invites him to enjoy a drink, as the surrounding environment seems to interrupt any worries from the outside world. The samurai, who never imagined finding such serenity amidst the chaos of his life, watches in admiration the gentleness of the geisha's gestures as she serves the tea. Each of her movements is like a dance, flowing with grace. She shares peaceful stories and tales of distant lands, and her words, full of wisdom and charm, help the samurai disconnect from the violence of the battles. As he savors the tea, the samurai feels the weight of his sword lighten. The scent of the cherry blossom and the soft melody of the shamisen make him close his eyes, abandoning the spirit of war for a moment. He feels that for a few instants, he allows himself to simply be a man, without the responsibilities of a warrior. The geisha, with her lightness and presence, offers him what he most needed, a pause for his soul. When the conversation comes to an end, the samurai rises to leave, grateful for the peace he found, even if briefly. He bids the geisha farewell, leaving the tea house with a renewed sense of balance. The battle still awaits him, but for a few hours, he experienced the connection between the strength of the samurai and the delicacy of the geishas. Two worlds that coexist in harmony, both essential to the cultural fabric of medieval Japan. The path of learning. The journey of a geisha apprentice. The journey of a young woman starting her path in the art of geishas is filled with challenges, lessons, and dedication. When she is welcomed as an apprentice, Maiko, she must conform to the strict discipline, going through each stage of the art, where beauty, entertainment, and tradition intertwine. Every movement, gesture, and appearance is carefully honed, making the art of being a geisha not just a profession, but a true way of life. First steps. The young woman arrives at the Okaya tea house, anxious and shy, but with a firm decision to learn. She is greeted by her mentor, an experienced geisha, who observes her with both a critical and welcoming gaze. The reality of an apprentice's life is much more demanding than she had imagined. The long hours of practice, the focus on perfectionism, and the learning of various artistic skills require immense patience and discipline. The first step is to learn the art of walking gracefully, with her neck extended and delicate movements, all while wearing the characteristic kimono and obijin waistcord. Learning the arts of music and dance. Shamisen lessons. To the soft sound of the shamisen, a traditional Japanese instrument, the young woman begins to learn how to play, one of the key pillars in a geisha's performance. Each chord must be perfect to evoke the right emotions in the audience. Alongside her mentor, she begins to practice traditional Japanese dance, which requires slow, expressive movements, always attentive to the elegance of each gesture. The goal is to convey emotions through the body without words. Sometimes she feels insecure, her steps uncoordinated, but her mentor always guides her firmly, teaching her that the secret lies in persistence and perfecting the gesture. The study of beauty and traditional makeup. Each morning begins with the application of traditional makeup, with her face painted white and delicate details done in reds and blacks to accentuate the eyes and lips. The young woman learns that her appearance is a work of art in itself, an extension of her dedication. Makeup is more than aesthetic, it is symbolic. The young woman learns that by putting on the obi, waist sash, and adjusting her kimono, she is not just dressing, but transforming into an iconic figure of Japanese culture. Every morning, she spends hours styling her hair in a shimada, traditional hairstyle, with the help of her mentor, who teaches her the perfection of the style, the art of entertainment and conversation. One of the greatest skills of a geisha is the ability to charm her clients through delicate conversation and refined humor. The young apprentice learns that humor should never be vulgar, but subtle, always maintaining a perfect balance between laughter and respect. She learns to understand the feelings of her clients, not just by their words, but also through gestures and expressions. Every interaction is a subtle dance between entertainment and respect, the path of discipline and personal growth. Throughout her journey, the young woman faces moments of doubt and exhaustion. There are days when she questions her choices and feels the weight of the discipline. However, her mentor reminds her that true art requires resilience. The mentor represents a firm and nurturing guide, helping her to stay focused. She teaches not only the techniques, but also the behavior and values a geisha must cultivate: humility, patience, and respect for others. The young apprentice, anxious but serene, practices traditional dances and music under her mentor's guidance. The soft sound of the shamisen fills the air, and as she moves through the room, her gestures become more graceful, her posture more confident. The reflection of her practice in the mirror is a reminder of how far she has already come. The room is gently lit by natural light, creating an atmosphere of tranquility, as if time had paused to appreciate the delicacy of her journey. With each movement, the art of the geisha becomes more than just a lesson. It becomes an expression of her very soul. The art of storytelling. The role of geishas in oral tradition. Geishas are true masters of the art of storytelling, a talent that extends beyond music and dance. They are bearers of ancient wisdom, conveying narratives that touch the emotions and reflect the daily life and traditions of the Japanese people. Each story told by a geisha has the power to transport the listener into a world of deep reflections and subtle teachings. A geisha, draped in her impeccable attire, sits under the soft light of a paper lantern. The delicate flame illuminates her face, reflecting the serenity in her eyes. With a soft and melodious voice, she begins to tell a story of autumn, where leaves fall from the trees as symbols of change and renewal. The small group of listeners around her is captivated by the lightness of the narrative, her words flowing through the air as if dancing with the wind. The gentle sound of a shamisen in the background adds an extra layer of tranquility, transporting the listeners to a place of peace and reflection. Geishas, with their long history of perfecting traditional Japanese arts, are more than just stage performers. They are also guardians of oral tradition. The ability to tell stories is passed down from generation to generation, with each geisha becoming a storyteller of a rich tapestry of legends and ancestral wisdom. Each story carries a moral, a lesson. It might be about perseverance, the cycle of life and death, or the small joys of daily life. Geishas use stories to teach, to entertain, and to prompt the listener to reflect on their own life. The environment in which the stories are told is key. The use of paper lanterns, the sound of the shamisen, and the soft lighting create an intimate and cozy setting. This tranquil space is perfect for losing oneself in the words of a geisha and living the story alongside her. Geishas don't just speak. They know how to use rhythm and pauses to create an emotional impact. They know when to heighten the tension in the narrative and when to let it flow gently. Every word is carefully chosen, every gesture made with precision, reflecting the perfection and beauty that are characteristic of their profession. The ritual of preparing tea as a form of meditation. The tea ritual in the Geisha traditions is a profound moment of connection with oneself and the present. It's not merely about preparing a beverage, but about immersing oneself in a practice of meditation and reflection. Each step of the ritual is executed with precision, symbolizing the pursuit of harmony and inner peace. It is an art that engages both the body and the mind, a constant reminder that true serenity lies in the present. A geisha, in a simple tatami room, prepares for the tea ritual. The environment is calm, softly lit by the morning light that filters through the rice paper curtains. She moves slowly, as if each gesture were a silent prayer. First, she heats the water in a small kettle, listening to the soft sound of the water beginning to bubble. The aroma of the tea spreads in the air, blending with the silent surroundings. Each movement, from selecting the tea leaves to carefully pouring the hot water, is a reflection of her intention to fully live in that moment, without haste. The sound of the cup being placed on the table echoes gently, and she sits beside it, closing her eyes for a moment to breathe deeply and feel the peace of the moment. The atmosphere is filled with serenity, and her mind calms like the waves of a tranquil lake. The enchantment of the geisha dance, the expression of emotions in motion. The dance of geishas is not merely an aesthetic performance, but a powerful form of emotional expression. Each movement is imbued with symbolism and conveys deep feelings, which can be observed through the grace and precision of their gesture. The impeccable attire, often made of silk, is meticulously crafted to allow fluidity in movement and to highlight the beauty of the dance. The music, typically played by traditional instruments such as the shamisen, complements the steps and movements, creating a unique sensory experience. In a quiet room, illuminated by soft lanterns, a geisha prepares to dance. Her silk kimono, adorned with floral details and pastel tones, moves gently with each step, as if it were part of a tranquil river. The simple stage highlights the beauty of her figure and the harmony of her gestures. She begins the dance with slow, deliberate steps, each movement telling a story without a single word. The audience watches in silence, immersed in the serenity she conveys. Her face, expressive and serene, reflects the emotional intensity of her performance. The sound of the shamisen echoes softly, and with each chord, the geisha delves deeper into her silent narrative. At the end of the dance, the atmosphere is filled with the peace she has imparted, as if time had stopped for a moment, allowing everyone to connect with the beauty of the movement. The symbolism of the kimono and accessories of geishas. The appearance of a geisha is carefully crafted to reflect not only the aesthetic of Japanese culture, but also the deep symbolism each element carries. The flowers on the kimono, the hair accessories, and the colors used are more than mere adornments. They convey the season of the year, the personality of the geisha, and even the message she wishes to communicate. Each flower chosen, for example, can hold a specific meaning, and the color of the kimono can indicate the level of experience of the geisha or her state of mind. The meaning of flowers on the kimono. Each flower on a geisha's kimono has a specific meaning and is chosen based on the season of the year and cultural symbolism. Cherry blossoms, sakura, represent the transience of life, while the chrysanthemum is associated with longevity and honor. Additionally, the type of flower can also reflect the role the geisha plays in a ceremony or event. Colors and seasons of the year. The colors of the kimonos vary with the seasons. Red and pink predominate in the spring, symbolizing cherry blossoms. In autumn, golden and orange tones dominate, symbolizing fallen leaves. Black is typically used for formal occasions, while soft blues or greens are more common for everyday wear. Each color carries not only the essence of the season, but also the emotional state of the geisha. Hair accessories. The accessories in a geisha's hair also carry deep meanings. The hairstyle is an essential part of her identity. A kanzashi, the hair ornament, changes with the season and can reflect specific events. In winter, for instance, she may wear artificial plum flowers, while in summer, lotus flowers might be chosen. These accessories are not just decorative. They highlight the elegance and delicacy of the geisha, while also contributing to her personal symbolism and experience. The symbolism of perfume. The perfume worn by geishas is an extension of their visual identity. A soft, floral fragrance is carefully chosen to complement the sensory feeling created by their appearance. The geisha uses her perfume as a way of leaving a personal mark, a trace that blends with her presence, but is never intrusive, much like the culture of the geisha itself. The geisha, with her hair perfectly styled and her floral kimono, walks through the garden. Each step echoes the harmony between humanity and nature, her presence gently blending with the surrounding environment. The flowers in the garden sway softly in the breeze, as if dancing to the rhythm of her graceful movements. The delicate aroma of her perfume mingles with the freshness of the flowers, creating an atmosphere of serenity that seems to freeze time. She doesn't hurry her steps, for she understands that beauty lies in the contemplation of the present moment, in the little things that often go unnoticed. Her figure, draped in the soft colors of her kimono, becomes part of the scene, like a blooming flower, paying homage to the nature around her. Traditional music and its role in the entertainment of geishas. Music has always played a central role in the life of a geisha, being one of the primary forms of entertainment and a powerful tool for expressing emotion. Among the various traditional instruments, the shamisen stands out, especially for its unique and profound sound. This three-stringed instrument, played with a plectrum, has the ability to evoke a wide range of emotions from melancholy to euphoria. The sound of the shamisen is capable of connecting deep emotions, whether for an audience or for the geisha herself, creating a unique atmosphere and transporting everyone to another dimension. The geisha, as a master of the shamisen, uses music not only to entertain, but also to tell stories and translate her emotions, making each performance a sensory and emotional experience for all involved. The room is softly illuminated by the light of lanterns, and the tranquility of the environment seems to embrace the space. A geisha, with delicate and confident movements, approaches the shamisen, adjusting the strings with an almost reverent care. As she plays, her hands glide with precision over the strings, and the first notes begin to echo in the air. The sound is gentle, yet profound, creating a sense of deep calm that spreads throughout the room. As the notes flow, the environment seems to slow down, as if time itself has surrendered to the music. The melody builds, alternating between soft and more intense notes, but always maintaining harmony, like a dance between sound and silence. The geisha's eyes sparkle with the connection she feels with the instrument, as if each note spoke directly to the heart of those who listen. The sound of the shamisen fills the space so completely that for a brief moment, everyone present feels transported to another world, where emotion and tranquility meet in perfect synchronicity. The history of the shamisen and its cultural significance. The shamisen is one of the key traditional Japanese instruments, known for its simplicity and emotional depth. Its presence in the performances of geishas dates back centuries, and its sound is one of the pillars of the musical tradition in the art of the geisha. To master the shamisen, geishas undergo years of training. The delicate touch and correct posture are essential to extracting the perfect melody. Every movement is done with precision, reflecting years of practice, making it a true art form that goes beyond music, incorporating gestures and emotions. The influence of music on emotions and the audience's perception. Music has the power to elevate or soften any environment. In the context of geishas, the sound of the shamisen not only accompanies dances and stories, but also serves as an emotional reflection of the performance, helping to create a deep connection between the artist and the audience. For the geisha, the process of playing the shamisen is almost ritualistic. Every chord played is a form of meditation and a link to history and tradition. This act is more than just a performance. It is a direct communication with the soul of the spectator. The combination of soft music and the visual expressions of the geisha creates a complete sensory experience. Those who watch the performance do not only listen, but feel each note as if it penetrates their hearts, creating a unique atmosphere of serenity and enchantment. I wish you a relaxing sleep and a good night.